Hi Year 2, it's Mrs. Ovens here again, and today we're going to be doing maths and looking at word problems that involve adding and subtracting. Earlier on this week you've been practicing adding and subtracting on the number line, and you're going to use everything that you've learned in those lessons today to be able to solve your word problems. So the first thing that you need to do when you see a word problem is to try and figure out if it's an adding or a subtracting word problem. And there are some words in the problems that give you a bit of a clue and tell you if you need to be adding or taking away. So we'll have a look at those. So add addition, some of the language that you might see when you're looking at an addition problem is add, more, plus, make, sum, total, and all together. And some of the language that you might see in a subtraction problem are subtract, minus, leave, less, take away, or the difference between. If it's a money subtraction problem, it might be something is sold, okay, or given away. So when you see these words in a word problem, it's good to be able to identify them and say, I know now that this word problem, for example, says plus. Plus means add, so I need to add on my number line. Or in this word problem, some people leave the bus or get off the bus. I know that the word leave is a subtraction word, so I need to take away on my number line today. So these are some problems for us to have a little look at. We're just going to see if they're adding or subtracting first of all. So if you have 67 slices of pizza and 15 slices are eaten, how many slices would you have left? So the first thing I need to do is try and figure out if it's adding or taking away. Now I'm looking for the word that's going to tell me which one that is. And here I can see we're talking about pizzas and it says eaten. Some of them are eaten. Now, when we're in school, we like to underline or circle some of the keywords in our problems because it helps us when we're then going to write out our number sentence. So it's eaten, which means they're going away. So that's going to be subtract. Now, the next thing that you need to do when you're looking at a problem is take out the numbers. So 67, 15 slices are eaten. So that, as a number sentence, would be 67 subtract 15 equals. And that's the first job you need to do today. You need to be able to write out your word problem as a number sentence, okay? Because once you've done that, then you can then solve it on the number line. Let's look at the next one. If you have 72 rubber ducks and are given another 17, how many rubber ducks would you have? So I'm given another, okay, which means I'm getting more. And if you're getting more in maths, that means you're adding. Okay, so let's find my numbers. I've got 72 and given, which means I'm getting more, 17. So I'm adding. It would be 72 plus or add 17. Then I can solve it on my number line, and I'll show you how to do that. So when you're using your number line today, you need to figure out which side of the number line you need to start on. So if you are adding, you start on the left because you want your numbers to get bigger. And if you are subtracting, you will need to start on the right-hand side of your number line so that your numbers can get smaller. So let's look at this orange word problem that I've got up here. And you have all of your word problems on a resource that's attached to them. Okay, so what is the total of 53 and 28? So total, I can always look back in this video to the slide that has the language about what add and subtract means. You can always leave it on that slide at the end. I'll show you which one. So this one. So it has all of the language here that you might see for addition and subtraction. If you want to leave this on, then you can pause this whilst you do your work. Okay, so what's the total of 53 and 28? So total, I know when I look back, that means that I'm adding if I want to know what the total of something is. So I need to write out my number sentence now. So 53 plus 28. 23. Oh, sorry, made a mistake there. This is why you always need to go back and check, because we're all capable of making mistakes sometimes. It was 53. When we're adding, we always want to start with the biggest number. 53 plus 28. So now I'm adding, so I need to start on the left-hand side of my number line. And I'm going to put my biggest number, so 53. Now I'm going to add 28. So I've got my tens and my ones. I'm going to do my tens jumps first of all. It's easier to do this on squared paper if you have it. And a tens jump is usually around 3 squares. Okay, so I need 2 tens jumps. 1, 2, and I need 8 little ones jumps, just 1 square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to write that these are plus 10 to remind myself that these were my 10 jumps. And I'm not going to bother writing plus ones in my ones jumps just because there's not much space and I can remember that they're just ones. So 53, and I'm going to add a 10. So I'm adding it here onto my tens number. So I've got 5 tens, add 1 more 10. Got 6 tens, and the 3 doesn't change, so I'm not adding anything to my ones. And now I've got 6 tens, 1 more 10 would make 7 tens. Again, my 3 doesn't change because I'm not adding any ones. And now we're just counting up in ones. 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. And I always write my end number down because when I come back to check my calculation, I like to be able to see. And I like to go back and just count again sometimes just to be sure. Let's look at the next one. My grandma gave me 80p. I spent 32p on some coloured pencils. How much do I have left? Now, if you're spending something, you're giving it away. So you're going to have less money. So we're taking away. Okay. So my number sentence is 80. Spent means take away. So 80p take away 32p. What was? I'll write down my number sentence so I don't forget it. 80, not going to forget to write p because I need to say what unit I've got. Take away 32 equals. Now I'm taking away, so I need to start on the right hand side of my number line. And I've got my 80. I'm not going to bother writing p because I know that I won't forget it when I write my answer, but I know what it is. So this time I'm taking away 3 tens jumps first of all. 1, 2, 3. Done my 3 tens, need to do my 2 ones. 1, 2. All right, take away 10 in these jumps. Again, I don't need to bother doing that for the ones. Okay, so I'm taking away 10s this time. So I've got 8 10s, take away a 10. 7 10s, ones don't change. Take away a 10. 10s, ones don't change. Take away a 10. 5 10s. I'm just counting back in ones. So 50, 49, 48. P. Now, if I really wanted to show off, I could check that by doing 48p, add 32p. So I got 4 tens, add another 3, 1, 2, 3, which is 70p, and then 2p add 8p is another 10p, so that would be 80p. So 48p plus 32p would be 80p. So I can check it by doing the inverse if I really want to show off today. So there we go. That's an example of adding and subtracting using the number line, and starting off by looking for the words in the problem that either mean adding or subtract, and finding the numbers from the word problem as well and writing them out as a number sentence. Okay, so you need to read the problem carefully, highlight the key vocabulary and the numbers, decide whether you need to add or subtract, write out your number sentence, and then use the unstructured number line to do your work. And if you need any help, please contact us. We're here to help you.